March 7th, 2026. A Saturday morning like any other in Acworth, Georgia. But at 2:42 a.m., inside the parking lot of a local bar called Saddle Bar, time stopped. A 28-year-old man was shot. He was rushed to Kennestone Hospital, but by the time the sun rose over Georgia, he was gone. His name was Jordan Alexander Jones. He was a former college football star, a professional athlete, a son, a brother, a friend, and in his final moments on this earth, he was something else entirely. He was a hero. Before we tell you what happened that night, and trust me, the details will break your heart, hit that like button if you believe that heroes walk among us. And subscribe to Marv Trendings, because we tell the stories that mainstream media won't. Stories like this one. Jordan Alexander Jones was born in 1997 in Lawrenceville, Georgia. For those who don't know, Lawrenceville is about 30 miles northeast of Atlanta, a classic southern suburb where Friday night football is practically a religion. And from a young age, Jordan was a believer. He grew up in a close-knit family. His uncle, Edward Jones, would later describe him as a kid who always stood up for what was right. Even then, even as a boy, Jordan had that protector instinct. If he saw something wrong, he didn't just watch. He acted. His mother, Edwina, raised him with values that would define his entire life. Work hard, respect others, and always, always stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves. Do you have someone in your life who taught you those values? A parent, a grandparent, a coach? Drop their name in the comments. Let's honor them today. Jordan attended Mountain View High School in Lawrenceville, and this is where the legend started to build. He wasn't just good at football. He was dominant. On the field, he was a force of nature, fast, strong, relentless. Off the field, he was something even rarer, a leader. His teammates didn't just respect him. They looked up to him. They trusted him. Coaches described him as the kind of player who made everyone around him better. He graduated in 2015, leaving behind a legacy that Mountain View still talks about today. In fact, after his death, the school posted a message that said, "He leaves a legacy of helping students and players, being a devoted son, and doing the right thing." But Jordan's story wasn't finished. Not even close. After high school, Jordan took his talents to Livingston, Alabama, the University of West Alabama Tigers. And from 2016 to 2019, he absolutely terrorized opposing offenses. Let's put his stats up on screen because they deserve to be seen. 211 total tackles, 17 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, 1 interception. In his last 3 years, he was a consistent defensive cornerstone. 2017, 6 sacks. 2019, 14.5 tackles for loss. The man was everywhere on the field. His teammates loved him. His coaches trusted him. And every Saturday, he went to war for that Tigers uniform. One of his longtime friends and former teammates, Jalen Virgil, would later say, "It kind of feels like a nightmare that I'm just kind of waiting to wake up from." That's what loss feels like. That's what happens when someone you love is taken too soon. Have you ever lost someone who made you feel like you were waiting to wake up? I know that pain. Drop a folded hands in the comments for everyone you've loved and lost. After college, Jordan's football journey wasn't over. Not even close. He went pro. Indoor Football League. First the Tulsa Oilers, then the San Antonio Gunslingers. And he didn't just play, he dominated. He earned all IFL honors. The league would later call him a talented player and respected competitor who left a lasting mark on the league and those who had the privilege of knowing him. And then came 2026. A new opportunity, a new chapter. Jordan was set to join the Michigan Arsenal in Arena Football 1 this season. He was supposed to report to training camp soon. The Arsenal's owner, George Bradford, said, "Jordan was a remarkable young man whose talent, drive, and character stood out from the moment we connected with him. We were truly looking forward to welcoming him to our training camp and watching him grow within our organization." Head coach Sean Leota called him, an outstanding young man, and an exceptional football talent. He had a future, a bright one, a team that believed in him, a career that was still climbing. He never made it to that training camp. But here's something you might not know about Jordan Jones. Something that shows you exactly who he was as a person. When he wasn't on the football field, when he wasn't training or traveling, he gave back. He worked as a substitute teacher at Mountain View High School, his own alma mater. Think about that. A professional athlete. A man who could have been anywhere on his days off. And he chose to spend his time in a classroom with kids pouring into the next generation. The school's football program posted, "He leaves a legacy of helping students and players, being a devoted son, and doing the right thing." That's who Jordan Jones was. A man who did the right thing. Every single time. March 7th, 2026. A Friday night turning into Saturday morning. Jordan was working security at Saddle Bar in Acworth, Georgia. Just another shift. Just another night keeping people safe. Around 2:42 a.m., something happened. A fight broke out in the parking lot. A man and a woman. Witnesses say the man was attacking the woman. She needed help. And Jordan Jones, the man who always did the right thing, stepped in. His uncle, Edward Jones, would later describe what happened next. He's not gonna just let it happen, watch others on while they tape it. So he stepped in and just said, he was not violent with the guy, He simply grabbed him, an old bear hug, and put him to the side. That's important. Jordan didn't escalate. He didn't hurt anyone. He just stopped the fight. A bear hug. De-escalation. Problem solved. The suspect's name was Daniel D. Vonne Parsons, 25 years old, from Douglasville, Georgia. Jordan broke up the fight. He calmed things down. And then he walked away. He did his job. He thought it was over. But it wasn't over. Parsons allegedly pulled out a firearm. And as Jordan walked away, as he turned his back on the situation he had just peacefully resolved, Parsons shot him. In the back. Officers arrived at the scene around 2:42 a.m. They found Jordan suffering from a gunshot wound. They immediately began rendering aid, waiting for Cobb County Fire and Metro EMS to arrive. He was rushed to Wellstar Kennestone Hospital. His family waited. His friends prayed. His teammates hoped. But at the hospital, despite everything the doctors tried, Jordan Alexander Jones died from his injuries. He was 28 years old. The suspect, Daniel D. Vonne Parsons, was located nearby on foot near Baker Road. He was taken into custody without incident. He now faces charges that include felony murder, aggravated assault, aggravated battery. As of today, March 10th, 2026, he is being held without bond at the Cobb County Adult Detention Center. The investigation remains ongoing. Does justice feel like enough when a life has been taken? Comment what you think should happen next. In the days since his death, the tributes have poured in, and they all say the same thing. Jordan Jones was special. His friends called him a gentle giant. Cameron Patterson, one of his closest friends, said, "He was a hero. He was a gentle giant. He lit up the room when he walked in. He was a big guy, so you knew if anybody needed help, he was going to be the one to step in." Jalen Virgil, his former teammate at Mountain View, said, "It kind of feels like a nightmare that I'm just kind of waiting to wake up from." Saddle Bar released a statement calling him a brave individual who put himself in harm's way to protect someone else. They announced they would make a donation to support his family and said, "His bravery will not be forgotten." The Indoor Football League said, "A talented player and respected competitor, Jordan left a lasting mark on the league and those who had the privilege of knowing him." The Michigan Arsenal posted, "Our thoughts and prayers are with Jordan's family, friends, and loved ones during this incredibly difficult time. Jordan was a gifted young man with a bright future ahead of him." The man accused of taking Jordan's life is Daniel D. Vonne Parsons, 25, of Douglasville, Georgia. According to police, after Jordan broke up the fight peacefully and walked away, Parsons retrieved a firearm and shot him. He was found near the scene and arrested without incident. As of today, he remains in custody without bond. The investigation is ongoing. Police have said no additional details are available at this time. So what do we do with a story like this? What do we take away? Jordan Jones lived 28 years. In that time, he became a football star, a professional athlete, a teacher, a mentor, a son, a friend, and in his final moments, a hero. He didn't ask to be a hero. He just did what was right. He saw a woman in danger, and he acted. He didn't wait for someone else. He didn't pull out his phone to record. He stepped in. He protected. He served. And for that, he paid the ultimate price. His uncle said it best. He's not gonna just let it happen, watch others on while they tape it. In a world where everyone watches and nobody acts, Jordan Jones acted. He was the one who stepped forward when everyone else stepped back. Jordan's friend called him a gentle giant, a big man with an even bigger heart, a man who used his size not to intimidate, but to protect, not to hurt, but to help. That's the kind of man we lost on March 7th, 2026. So here's our final question for you today, and we really want you to answer in the comments. If you had been in that parking lot, what would you have done? Would you have stepped in? Would you have helped? Or would you have watched? Jordan Jones didn't hesitate. He acted. He protected. And his name deserves to be remembered. If this story touched you, if you believe that heroes deserve to be remembered, do 3 things right now. 1. Subscribe to Marv Trendings. We tell the stories that matter. The stories that mainstream media won't touch. We drop new deep dive biographies every week. 2. Like this video. Let the algorithm know that real stories, real heroes, deserve to be seen. 3. Comment his name. Just type Jordan Jones so his name lives on. And tell us, who should we cover next? Rest easy, Jordan. You did your job. You protected the vulnerable. You made your family proud. You made your community proud. And you left this world having done exactly what you were put here to do. You were a hero,